So I told Karen before we came in, yesterday she told us to pivot and shift. I'm still going to talk about Perimenopause Unveiled, embracing the change, but there was something that was laid upon my heart this morning. We have pastors here who have prayed us out. I'm going to pray us in, but I'm going to pray us in through a song. This song is for all of you who are speaking today. This song is for all of you who spoke yesterday. Oh, it's not working?
It's both.
Oh, okay. And it's for all of you who are here because you want more. And we have a God who gives us gifts more than we ever ask. So, have thine own way, Lord. Have thine own way. Thou art the potter, I am the clay. Mold me and make me after thy will, while I am waiting, yielded and still. Yes. Okay. So perimenopause. I start with this because this is the most obvious symptom that people see. But what I want to know is how many of you have been in a building and you've been warm when it appears that others are not? Okay. And if it hasn't been you, you might have been with someone who was warm. So, today, I have two books. I have a question. Who in here is either going through perimenopause or has a dear friend who's suffering from perimenopause? You held your hand up first. And I saw you. I saw her. Okay, so give me a few moments. And as you heard last night, we were in the VIP section, and those women poured into us. One of the questions that I asked was, of Sarah, high energy, high income. I said, what about people who are more low-key? I'm not one of those ones, not typically. And she said, be yourself. So, I'm going to be myself. So, at 18, I went to a well-known private university on full academic scholarship. By 19, I had a 0.1 GPA, 0.01, and I was on academic disqualification. So I decided I was going to go to work in the corporate world. In my 20s, a director said to me, you're not going to end up as anything other than a clerk at Mervyn's. Mervyn's is a store combination between Walmart and Target. A few years later, a vice president said, Daria doesn't have a mind of her own. Now, those of you who know me know that that is far from the truth. I do have a mind of my own. Fast forward almost 20 years later, I had an executive MBA in management. I was a corporate leader. And there was a young man who convinced me that I did not want to climb the corporate ladder and that I wanted to marry him. So I did. 4 months after we said I do, I started having pains. I started having these terrible symptoms. I went to the doctor, and the doctor said, you need a hysterectomy. I said, I am an only child of a father who has been dying to have a grandchild. I am a new wife of a man who's been praying to be a father since he was a child. A hysterectomy is not an option. So I began to research alternative treatments, alternative things. And I found something. And the man said, do you want to not have surgery? I'm like, yeah, I don't want to have surgery. He said, change your diet. And I did. And let me tell you, it went from going to the doctor every month in excruciating pain to not having to go back to the doctor for many, many months. So I'm like, oh, this works. And I did for several years. But you know, the pains came back, and they came roaring back with a vengeance. And I went back to the doctor, and he said, Daria, you've held this off long enough. You have to have a hysterectomy. Excuse me. So, we went to the doctor, a different doctor, a specialist. He said, I have to do 11 procedures in this surgery due to endometriosis. My father looked at that doctor and said, is she going to die? And he said, she very well could. He said to me, I would rather have you than a grandchild that I don't know. My husband, who has wanted to be a father, said to me, God picked you for me. I would rather have you as a wife than a child that we don't have. So I had the surgery, and I will tell you, I felt like a broken woman. Not that I didn't feel that I was lesser of a woman, but I just felt broken because I felt that I let down those who loved me most, even though everybody was cool except me. But during this whole process with the endometriosis, there were still, I'm getting older, of course, so the perimenopause symptoms were in there. And so I started asking other women, did anybody tell you about perimenopause? And they'd say, no. Did anybody tell you when you were 10, 9, 8 that you were going to have a cycle? Yeah. So it became my vision to, wait a minute, if we're not talking about this, because 73% of women have symptoms that they don't manage. They don't manage because of fear. Ooh, it might be something wrong. Or, I don't know what this is, and, it'll go away. As I said, for those of you who were yesterday, if we are given the gift of life, change is going to come. So is it okay if I give you 3 tips, 3 areas about perimenopause this afternoon? Okay. The first one, manage your sleep hygiene. Now, when I say hygiene, what do you think of? You think your body, you think of showers and those type of things. But let me tell you this. Tim Detter said that sleep is the golden chain that binds our body and our health together. We take sleep for granted. Yeah. We take it for granted. Now, okay, participation. How many of you have an automobile, have ridden in an automobile, or know somebody who has an automobile? That's right. Okay, so imagine your car. Yesterday we heard about lights coming on. We heard about cars that had squeaky noises. When your car does those kind of things, you take it to the shop. And you tell the mechanics, here's my list of things that are wrong. And they say, we can fix that. Okay. They take it, they call you back and say, your car is ready. You go back, You whip out your credit card to get your beloved vehicle, and they say, oh, by the way, we only fixed 50% of this problem. We fixed 20% of this problem. We only fixed 5% of this one. And you say, that's okay. Here's my credit card. I need my car. How many of you would pay for that repair? No. Thank you. Guess what? When we don't get our rest, that is what we are doing to our bodies. We are running on vehicles that are not fully repaired. Because when we sleep, all of those systems, that's when they get the chance to say, you abuse me during the day, but I'm going to fix it up at night. That's what we're doing. So I know you've heard about getting a certain amount of hours. You've heard all kinds of things. The one thing that I want is to just get yourself on a regular schedule. Your body will start to know, oh, it's 9 o'clock. I'm tired. I will go to sleep. When you say, well, tonight it's 9, tomorrow it's 7, the next night is 1, your body doesn't know what's going on. So get yourself on a regular routine. That will help your body repair. So for you techies who have Windows computers, who know about defragging, that defragging it's got all the little pixels all over the place. That's like your brain. At night, it takes and it defrags. And you wonder why we have memory fog. Because you got pixels on the left that should be on the right. So, if of anything, get yourself on a schedule. The second, mood swings. Anybody in here have mood swings? Okay. So perimenopause is not a time to abuse those mood swings because we are not an island. We live with people. We work with people. So what I want to say to those of you who haven't gone through it, or for those of you who are managers in offices where people may be, sometimes those mood swings, there is no control. The person who is smiling one moment may be in tears the next. The person who was laughing may be angry, fussing, cussing, carrying on, and you don't know. So those mood swings, sleep actually helps those mood swings. I'm going to move along quickly. The third, which is probably one of my favorites, I'm going to share a story. Layering is not just for cakes. So with that, we'll get my trusty fan again. Layering is not just for cakes. So think about the busiest road by your shopping center, by your mall, and wherever you live, there's always traffic. This time of year, there's extra traffic. So I want you to imagine, except you don't have to really, but just imagine you're driving down that busy street. I am in the car with my husband, and I said to him, "Do you hear that train?" He looked at me, he said, "No." I don't know about you, but the trains don't usually run near the malls. We keep going. We keep walking or driving. I'm like, "Are you sure you don't hear that train? It's getting louder." Nope. I said, "Did you turn on the heat?" No. I took off my coat. We're driving. I took off my sweater. At that point, he looks at me because we are on this busy thoroughfare. People can see into our car. I took off my shirt. He said, "Are you okay?" my first hot lunch. If it had been dark outside and I had thought taking off my bra would have helped, I would have thrown it. So layering is not just for cakes. We need to dress so that if you get warm, you have something to take off. And for if you're like me and you're heavier than you're supposed to be or you were, you know what? The extra weight holds heat. So if you are wearing no layers and you are even heavier, you're in trouble. So my 3 areas of perimenopause. Take care of your sleep hygiene. Monitor those moods. And layering, it is not just for cakes. So I want to know, if you would like to learn more, you or your loved ones would like to learn more about perimenopause, there should be a barcode coming up soon. You can see me and reach me at www.imstillhot.com. And I will share with you a checklist. Remember I said 73% of women don't manage their symptoms. They don't know that some of the things that are going on are perimenopause symptoms. You can download the checklist, and for all of you who are here today, if you download it, and because I'll be able to see, I will give you, since we're at the end of the year, I actually have a goals journal that I am going to gift you in regard. And so it allows you to make goals toward your health, make goals toward your business, all in one. So, I am Daria Rosen. I help women shake the fear, ditch the shame, and embrace the change as they graduate, as we graduate from our reproductive years to the next chapter of life. Thank you.